Today we're behind the wheel of the Toyota 86. This is actually the GT86, one of the best platforms to use when it comes to modification in a modern generation. This platform, the 86 platform, is so utilized when it comes to, well, everything. When it comes to drifting, racing, drag racing, the 86 platform is everywhere. And we see it is famous for actually housing some of the wildest engine swaps imaginable, and that's in real life and in Gran Turismo 7, because we see with update 1.63 to the game, we have another engine swap for this GT86. Now we see previously we were able to swap in the K24A, but now we can actually take the engine from the Alfa Romeo Giulia GT8M and put it into 86. This car has some of the most unique engine swaps that wouldn't really be considered for a go-to engine swap, but regardless, we see with the Alfa Romeo's engine, it takes us from 197 brake horsepower all the way up to 532. That is so much more power going into the 86. And we see the weight actually doesn't change that much. Yes, we put on almost 60 kgs, but the fact that we more than double the power of it, it should be well worth the 210,000 credits. Now we see it doesn't stop there, because when we take the car over to a tuning shop, now we can just add so many parts to it and really just increase how much power the vehicle actually produces. Now anything over or near the 800 horsepower mark is going to be a lot for the 86 to handle, because look, even though it is front engine rear wheel drive, it has a bit of an issue trying to put the power down. So we're going to see now how far we can actually get before now we reach an issue. So now fully kitted, we're looking at 853 brake horsepower and 1076 kgs. Extremely lightweight, extremely powerful, and we gotta remember, this is just a Toyota 86. So now we're gonna experience the 86 by running it up against some of the fastest cars in the game, because apparently this is the 86's competition. So we just passed a Lamborghini Veneno, that's an F8 Tributo, and we got a few LaFerraris in front of us. So the fact that this car is able to just easily, are we pulling on a Chiron? Oh, this car is fast. Now you gotta remember, with it being rear wheel drive, that rear end does have a tendency to kick out, so you do need to be careful about that. But honestly, the power delivery is really good. I mean, the way the car is able to just seemingly put the power down with no real issue. I mean, it seems like the racing soft tires are actually at a really good stage where it's just the right amount of power, where the car is not constantly spinning its wheels. The car is actually putting traction down. I say that as I'm sliding it over the place, but for the moments when you don't come out of the corner extremely aggressively, the power delivery is really good, because we see there's some engine swaps where the minute you get on the power, it's just complete sideways action and you can't really enjoy it, or you can't even really drive it, because now the car is just all over the place. That's not the case with this, because it's just so smooth. You saw we just did 288 before we slammed on the brakes to make around this first corner, and we ran a 1 minute 36.9, which is very close to a competitive time. So if we actually able to hit a 135, well, then we're gonna be golden. This is gonna be considered a very competitive car, and by the pace we're going at now, we are absolutely gonna smash that time of a 1 minute 36. We just ran a 1 minute 34.6. There's a Ferrari right there. Down the straight, we are no match. The Ferrari will absolutely gap us, but other than that, through the corners and everywhere else, it's simply no match. There's a Ferrari going up the inside. That was so cheesy of me. I really just threw the 86 in front of him so he wouldn't overtake. But there we have it. The 86 GT, it's fast enough to actually run with these cars, but not fast enough to actually pull away from them. Now what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna try and use it for money guy. I'm gonna see what setup we can come up with here for the moment. But right now we see we are actually at 750 performance points, which is in the middle of the performance points class between 800 and 700. Because of that, I can't do any more upgrading. This is it fully maxed out, which means the only way to really succeed is to actually detune the vehicle. Because if we try and run in the 800 performance points class, we are absolutely gonna get walked. So what we need to do, we need to change our tire compound, decrease front downforce, and then play with ballast and power restrictor, and well, we'll see how far we get. So in order to get it, I had a perfect 700 performance points racing. Well, we changed the tire compound to racing hard, front downforce to 67, our ECUs at 87, ballast at 190, and ballast positioning at -35. So we actually see power to weight, well, the weight balance 60% in the front, 40 in the rear. So it is nose heavy, but hopefully that doesn't really cause that much of an issue. This isn't a race car engine, and because of that, well, fuel consumption is really not going to be on our side whatsoever. So we really have to try and use some extreme fuel saving tactics. We see that all that weight on the front end didn't really help us out there. So we're going to step the car on fuel map level 6. I know we're going off full lean mix right now, and we're just gonna try and have the vehicle come. Yo, the understeer now. I really would not recommend the setup they have in it now. We just use it for testing purposes. Obviously we will go in and play around with it, change it up a bit. But there we have it. There's the speed coming in right now. Shift up. I mean, it's climbing, but it's not really going as fast as I would have wanted it to. Just doing 310 right now. Slam on the brakes, and we actually overshot the point. We should end up with a penalty. So lap time wise, we just ran a 4 minute and 7 second lap with 60% of fuel remaining. So that equates to what? 2.5 laps of fuel all in all before you have to dive into a pit, which really isn't the best. And considering the fact of we ran a 4 minute 7 second lap, it isn't really gonna be a super easy vehicle to use for this event, because you're gonna have to dive into a pit a lot due to the fact of it's not really that fuel efficient, and you aren't really saving that much time because you aren't going that fast enough to justify you diving into a pit so often. So I'm not gonna give my seal of approval with this setup in this car. There is still possibly the chance of the WTC 600, but then you really have to detune this vehicle. I don't even know if it's possible, but that's really the only way forward. So somehow we did manage to get it under 600 performance points. We had 600 performance points on the dot, and right now we have under 500 brake horsepower, which means when it comes to straight line speed, it's really gonna be a hassle to try and get the job done. But so far we seem to be sitting quite nicely with these other vehicles, actually making some overtakes. Nay, the opponents are simply just running away. I'm just looking at how far first is to where I am, and that gap is just increasing so much. I don't see this car winning this event. First place is just simply too far away. Even with them pitting, that RX-7 is just simply going to be too fast and too light on fuel. Somehow, I don't know how, but somehow we managed to actually get the win. Like, second place is 8 seconds behind me. We are running lap times around the 2 minute 11 second mark because I started wall grinding. That first and second turn, I took it against the battery. You can see the side of the car, there's no paint. There's no paint on that car anymore. But regardless, we got the win. It took me just over 27 minutes to actually get done. 550,000 credits, because you know with this event, it never likes giving a clean race bonus. So that is the event done. 500,000 credits in my pocket, and well, it can be done. It can't be done legitly, but if you're willing to wall grind, by all means, you can. Final thoughts and opinions on the 86 GT. It's a fun engine swap. It's different. It's really not what I was expecting. This engine swap is perfect for just having fun. If you're trying to money grind with it, it's not really the best. It's not overpowered. But at this performance points level, especially with a race like this, it's very on par. So if you're looking for close racing, this is exactly where you're meant to be. This is exactly what you need to look for. And honestly, I had so much time, I had so much fun with this event, because it wasn't just overpowered. It actually gave me something to work towards and try and get a rewarding win. So if that's something you're interested in, well, look no further than the engine swap to your 86 GT.